The entire world may need a mass exorcism. Here's mass deliverance. I think this guy's name is Worley. And what I like about this is that de Tocqueville actually said that the fiery pulpits of America back in 1830s were a big reason why he felt that that country was just awesome, was the great women who were practical and had their, before they had their dresses back, done up at the back, it was done up at the front. They're just practical. But he said also the fiery pulpits. Now this Worley guy is telling people to break these curses of all these things that they've done, and they're all starting to, the people are manifesting in the aisles. But what's beautiful about America is look at the bystanders. There's people holding on to them while they freak out. They're giving them, in the New Age they call it, oh, let's hold space for people. But here in this mass deliverance, you have people coming out with all their demons, screaming and yelling, rolling in the aisles. But then you have an equal amount of people going around making sure that they got a little blanket and people are holding on to them, holding them down, which is actually, that's love. That's love, because they're safe. They're safe, they're being prayed for until they finish their freak out, until they stop screaming. And to me, this is love. This is what China will never see about America, but the point is about the China, how that's such a different country and culture, is that, it just is. They don't know, they don't love each other, they don't have love, and they're very full of shame. They'll never let this happen, but they need to, because it's a mass deliverance that they need. And not only that with China, what was I going to say? Oh, God. This is a mass deliverance that's needed. And I forgot what I was going to say, but this is the other thing that's extremely important. This documentary called Child of Rage. This is unbelievably excellent, but it's about a psychopathic child at the age of 9 and a lot of kids are in this state now where they have a psychopathic. She was abused at the age of 3 and then adopted. She was sexually abused, and then she ended up adopted, and then the adoptive parents were wondering why she's getting out the knives. She was actually crushing little birds, and then their son, the baby, was screaming every night, and she would be punching the son in the middle of the night. And they asked her point blank, what would you do if you one day? She said, well, I'll stab them. And then what's really amazing is this woman here. This is American know-how right here, where she ends up going to this halfway house, and this woman knows exactly what to do, and they're so brave. They said that a lot of little kids end up wanting to murder. She said, so this, I just want to show this.
Dr. McGid felt that for the well-being of the family, Beth needed to be temporarily separated from them. In April of 1989, her parents brought her to a special home with an expert at raising children with early attachment disorders, especially children who are dangerous to themselves and others.
I have children that have killed numerous times. Cold-blooded family members, neighbor children, killed them. And they can do it. Makes my blood run cold just thinking about 9 years old. People don't think a 9-year-old is capable of cold-blooded murder, but they are. That attachment break does severe damage to the heart, the ability to care and the ability to love. If they don't care and they don't love, they're capable of anything. We're very strict about everything. Everything is completely monitored. We take complete control because a child who's unattached does not trust. And because they don't trust, they don't allow anybody to be boss of them. So we take complete control. They are not boss of anything. They have to ask to get a drink of water. They have to ask to go to the bathroom. They have to ask to leave our sight. Part of that is because we cannot trust them because of the damage that they've done before.
Beth, would you like to say grace, please?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this good day and everybody doing good. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. They believe that they're evil. They believe they're from the devil. They believe that they are not a person of value. And we have to change that, and we have to build that from a child who's nothing, who's a bad kid in their own mind, to a child who's valuable and loving, and they see themselves as that.
You don't have to bite this.
When they do a chore well, we can say, you did a good job, you're a good worker. And then it just builds that self-esteem little by little so that they change the way that they see themselves.
Several months into treatment in this controlled environment, Beth had made progress, and her therapist decided to loosen some of the controls.
Anybody wants some more? I've seen that.
Beth continued to show signs of improvement. She began to develop a sense of right and wrong. She seemed to respond to affection, was more outgoing.
Gosh, you don't have to like
She went to public school, made friends at the local church, and even sang in the choir.
And you're going to go into Sunday school in this morning?
Yeah.
And get stickers? Maybe you could put one on your nose.
In the years you made it clear that the sign of Christ was near, so the people couldn't see what Messiah ought to be. So your word contained the plan, they just could not understand. That's Elijah.
Yeah, it's a beard. See his beard. There's his nose, and that's his...
Oh, I see.
Yeah, see his beard is kind of flowing in the wind and everything. Elijah taken up into heaven, the fiery chariot. Huh? Well, that's Elisha. That's the other prophet that took Elijah's place. And he was left, and there's Elijah.
This documentary, at some point, she cries at some point when she's with the goats. This is a girl who was actually killing birds when she was an animal torturer. And when she cried, that gave her soul back, like she developed empathy.
We don't worry about that anymore.
But it took this kind of environment with these kind of people, with that kind of 24-hour surveillance and control and boss of her and authority to finally break her, and she was successful for the rest of her life because she got her soul back. She cried it out, just like what needed to happen with a lot of these deliverance ministries. And anyway, what I was going to say about China is I was told that they all have diabetes. Diabetes en masse. That's because they lost the sweetness of life. That's what Louise Hay says. Anyway, I'm thinking that on one hand, we have a biometric and an ancient technology of surveillance. But if we have we want to get rid of psychopathy.
Do you know where that anger came from?
That's when my birth dad.
And this is how you do it. By this woman, I don't know where to find these people in America.
And I started doing it.
But their method worked, and there's no question about.
It made me want to hurt people really bad.
Anyway, there's no question
And who did you hurt?
about this is what America has given to the world. I don't think any other country has ever progressed to produce this kind of therapy and to have this kind of love for people. Canadians will never do that. The Canadian culture is kind of that of Europe and Britain, where they just kind of look at America as if they're just, looking down their nose like a big brother, kind of making fun of Americans in a mild way. I know that, but the point is, I'm just enthralled by by especially this brave woman who has this treatment center right here. People like this. That's what America's all about. What we're seeing on the television, the selling soap, is not at all a depiction with all these snide and weird people all over. They are the psychopaths that we're being shown. We're not being shown these people enough at all, and it needs to be broke through.